Good morning, all you strange and wonderful weirdos. I'm John.
And I'm Stacey.
It's Wednesday, October 12th, and this is why today is strange.
All right, so we're going to start with a bit of an update. Do you remember that NASA DART mission we talked about? Yes, so NASA has done a news conference update to say that it was a success.
They done news conference update.
They did.
Good, NASA.
They did one yesterday. And they said that the whole mission was a complete success, that they were able to change the orbit of the asteroid, which was the whole point.
Did they mention the plume?
The big comet-like 6,000 mile. They did talk about it a little bit. There was it was about an hour long. They took questions from media, but they did say that their goal was to shave about a couple of minutes off of the orbit of the asteroid. Even a couple of seconds, they would have considered it a success. But
right.
According to their calculations,
That's what I told that chick in college.
they were able to shorten the asteroid's orbit by about 32 minutes.
Oh.
So a significant push. It's the first time that we've ever changed the trajectory of a celestial body, I guess.
Is it?
Yes, I believe that it is.
Riveting.
So they talked about how excited they were. They are still going to have to keep watching it because, as one of the scientists said, it is wobbling just a bit. There's a wobble to it. So they don't know what its new orbit's going to be, but that definitely will not go back to what it was. So in the event that an asteroid is going to hit the Earth, they can potentially hit it with one of these DART missions and change its orbit, and possibly it will miss.
Maybe they can use some corrective asteroid shoes.
Maybe. They did say, they mentioned the comet trail. They mentioned the comet trail. Apparently right now the comet trail is splitting into like a forked tail. I don't think they know what's going to happen. They're still watching that too. I don't think they know what's going to happen with it, but
we've ended our own civilization.
Right.
I mean, that's it. Mm-hmm. It's going to be the fork-tailed devil comet that's going to be coming our way. Generations from now, old men are going to be sitting out on the dock with their little grandsons, and they're going to be going,
right.
Hey, here it comes. There's not much known about it, but that fork-tailed devil, it's going to kill us all.
They're going to be like, I remember back in that day in 2022 when they knocked that thing out of orbit.
Doomed us all.
Doomed us all. Where's the guy with the sign?
The end is nigh guy. It's Bill Nye guy.
Ah, I see. All right, so let's move on to an unsolved murder case that has now been solved.
Well,
in a very strange way.
Yeah, previously known as the Unsolved Murder Case.
So this is about a grisly Louisiana murder case that went unsolved for years until a dismembered foot was found in another state. Isn't that very strange? So this has been 6 years ago. A gentleman his remains were found.
Legs.
Yeah, the remains of some gentleman was found back in July of 2016 near the intersection of US 90 and LA 433 in Louisiana.
Right.
And the man, all they knew is he was roughly around 60 years old. But his body was badly decomposed. It was kind of out in the middle of nowhere. And he was missing both of his arms and one of his legs. He had been dismembered. No clue who had done it. So this past week, though, the sheriff's office said that they were looking at some evidence that was found during a death investigation in another state,
right,
in Alabama. And during that investigation, they found a dismembered foot in a bucket at a gentleman's house that had passed away. Now, Alabama had the foot. Louisiana had the man's body. They eventually were able to get samples, and through some new DNA testing and a lab at LSU that does like forensic facial recognition, they were able to figure out who the guy was.
It's a lie.
You think so?
No, it's all the magical artifacts we actually have in the world. I know what they really used.
Right.
They went into their secret lab there, and they got that crystal shoe.
Oh, I see.
And they came in a magical shoe. It fits, so like they can just say it goes to this person, and then,
there you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
We have a whole box of those things. You think it's all fairy tales, but how crazy of a story is that?
It's so crazy, and they used.
So why did he keep the foot?
That was my question. Nobody even. They were just like, we just found this missing foot in this guy's house in a bucket at the time of his death when they were investigating his death, and that was even a couple of years ago. But nobody's like, why was the foot there? Was it in his house? Was it in his shed? Nobody even touched on that. They were just like, oh, we found this foot.
Was there anything particularly interesting about the foot?
No, I think it was just his foot.
Like
I have no idea, but see
monkey
now
toes or
this gentleman that
a weird tattoo.
His name's Philip Pointer, the gentleman that had the foot, is now the suspect in his murder. Of course, he's already passed on. He passed on a couple of years ago, but they feel like he's the one that killed him because he had the foot. So makes sense. The gentleman's name, they were finally able to ID him after all of that. After 6 years, his name was Cleanthus oh my gosh, he's Greek. Constantinidis. I don't know how to say it. It's a very long name. But they were able to identify the poor man, and they still have no idea what happened. They could tell he got hit on the head. No idea why he was dismembered.
Not a lot of Greek grizzly murderers out there.
No. So, no, that's the guy that died.
Oh!
Philip Pointer is the potential
Pointer's
murderer.
a killer name.
Yeah. So
not a lot of podpocketus.
No, he's definitely the victim. All right, shall we move on?
We better.
All right, so let's talk about another study about Mars and the potential of life. These things are coming out like crazy, aren't they?
They are, yeah.
So a new study has claimed that ancient Mars microbes triggered climate change that made it hard for them to survive. So this is a new study saying that simple microbes that feed on hydrogen could have thrived on Mars 3.7 billion years ago. About the time that life was emerging on Earth.
Seems like we hear this a lot.
We do. And if that, they're not saying that's a definite thing. They're saying if, this is how their study went, the microbes, as they evolved, would have eventually created enough methane to kill themselves out.
Yeah.
Like it didn't work like it did.
I had an uncle that did that.
On Earth, these sort of microbes created greenhouse gases, warmed up the planet. We were able to thrive and survive. But on Mars, the same process didn't work.
Yeah.
So, according to this particular study, which I thought was really interesting, it suggests that life may not have an inherent self-sustainable quality that people, like life will go on kind of thought. That in fact, it could be randomly emerging in lots of places, on lots of planets, but making itself extinct through its own interaction with the atmosphere.
And they also found out that kitties won't just hang on.
No, they will not hang
They'll
in there.
eventually fall. Life, don't go on. Kitties don't hang on. There you go.
Another part of the study, though, did claim that the different areas on Mars that possibly, if these microbes were there and there's evidence of it, are in all the areas that we are currently looking for them. So it's like another reestablishment. Yeah, isn't it?
Don't look in those areas we're not looking. There's nothing there. Absolutely
Yes,
nothing.
you're absolutely in the right spot. Just keep digging. All right, so let's move on. Let's talk about a divine crocodile. This particular divine crocodile has died after guarding the temple for nearly 80 years in India. So there's a temple in India that apparently for centuries has had what they call a divine crocodile that is outside of the temple that guards it, and people visit it and touch it, and it's a vegetarian apparently. And this particular one, her name was Babia, and it guarded this temple in southern state of Kerala, which is a temple to Vishnu, I believe. The temple's been there for 3,000 years, and it's been protected for centuries by a lone, what they call divine crocodile. Now, the last divine crocodile that they had was shot dead sometime in the 1940s. And whenever that crocodile died, this one just showed up, and they can't even say where it came from. They said that the lake that's outside of the temple is it's just a lake, a small lake. It is connected to caves, so there's probably a feeder in there. But for some reason, one crocodile will come and live in this lake. And they claim that the crocodile is a vegetarian. They feed it like blessed rice from the temple. There are fish in the lake, so I don't think they can say for certain that it doesn't actually eat some of the fish, but it doesn't eat the people. There are pictures of people touching it, and they bring their children to be blessed and to touch the divine crocodile. But this particular crocodile, Babia, passed on, and they had a huge funeral in the town square, a glass coffin for the crocodile, flowers all over it. Hundreds of people came to say goodbye and, their farewells to Babia, the divine crocodile?
I don't want to make a quip about this
No.
because I think it's sweet. It's cool. It's pretty awesome. And I think it's also pretty neat that a new crocodile shows up.
Well, that's the strange part. Now I'm waiting to see when the next divine crocodile shows up.
So if it doesn't,
I don't know. Maybe they'll have to move on to a divine different animal. Who knows?
if the divine security cameras go out and the divine crocodile shows up.
Right.
What a miracle.
What a miracle.
God shut it down.
All right. So here's the last story. This is from Yorkshire.
Oh, Masher?
Yorkshire. This is about a man who has taken to social media to try and end his torment because a mystery stranger keeps yelling porridge through his letterbox hole. So, he has a door that has one of the letterbox, like old time. My grandmother had one of those. They'd open the slit, put the mail in, falls in the foyer, right?
You don't want to know what the guy's yelling through the razor disposer.
So somebody in the odd hours in the middle of the night are coming to his door, lifting up the flap on the letter opener and just yelling porridge into his house.
He's like, I'm going to throw this old razor away. Oh, wait.
He said sometimes it's porridge time, Papa Bear. That's what they yell. And one time they screamed, eat it before it goes cold, Papa. It's my special porridge. That's what they said.
Is he actually eating porridge?
I have no idea. I don't think I would. He said there is no porridge being left and nobody,
What is porridge?
It's like oatmeal kind of, like the Three Bears
Are you
porridge.
sure? Okay. So is he actually eating porridge?
I don't know. He might be eating porridge, but...
What is it?
I don't know. He has no idea who is doing this. And of course, he put the post on social media because he's just trying for somebody, if somebody near him sees it, he's like, grow up, please stop doing this. You're, all hours of the night, you're waking me up. And the comments, of course, the comments are the best part. People suggesting it could be a serial killer or that he should get his locks changed, maybe call Goldilocks. Yeah. But very strange. What a weird way to torment somebody. Like if you had a neighbor that you didn't really like, what happened to
It's fantastic.
to ringing the doorbell?
It's fantastic.
The ding dong ditch thing.
It's fantastic. But also creepy.
Mm-hmm. Yes, very.
Eat it, Papa Bear, before it goes cold.
It's my special porridge.
It's my special porridge. On that one, we already know why today is strange.